Never fear, Cindersh is here. And today I have another Dragon Ball Theory discussion video for you. And our topic today is what makes a planet buster. Now, we know Frieza is able to destroy planets. He's destroyed planet Vegeta. He's destroyed planet Namek. He comes to destroy planet Earth. But how much power does it take to destroy a planet? Now, initially, I did my calculations because I was involved in a discussion about what would it take for a Dragon Ball Z power level to be big enough to destroy the universe. And so I went and started doing some research for what does it take to destroy this, to destroy that. And then I figured, okay, well, now that I've got those values, what is a good foundation point for bridging upward from there? And so I said, okay, I know Frieza in his base form with the power level of 500,000, 510,000, whatever, 500,000, destroyed planet Vegeta. And as far as I know, planet Vegeta was an Earth-size planet. And so if I say a 500 power level is enough to destroy planet Vegeta and destroy planet Earth, then I can figure out from there what it would take to destroy other objects. And so I did a conversion with the joules to the power level for Earth, and that way I could do my factoring up and down for other objects. And one of the things I had to do, or I'd figured out I needed to do, was work backwards a little bit to say, well, what about the moon? We've had a couple of people destroy the moon. What power level would I need to destroy the moon? And you can see here the size difference between the moon and the Earth. And using my 500,000 power level to destroy the Earth, and doing my calculations from there, to destroy the moon, you would need a power level of 300. Now, Piccolo destroys the moon during the Saiyan saga, after defeating Raditz, before the Saiyans come. He definitely has a power level over 300. We get a scouter reading from Raditz showing he's over 300. No big deal there, right? But that same scouter read Master Roshi at, what was it? I believe it was 100 even. Now, when Roshi destroyed the moon, he was in his buff form. So if his buff form triples his power to 300, he could just do it. But that's assuming his buff form multiplies Roshi's power level in his regular form. If it doesn't, then you start having some issues with using 500,000 as the minimum for destroying an Earth-sized planet. Now, it's possible Frieza didn't need all of that power to destroy planet Vegeta. He wouldn't need all of that power to destroy an Earth-sized planet. Maybe he needs a little less. With each little bit less, you get closer to a level Roshi could do. You can make a valid argument. Okay, Roshi can destroy the moon. Piccolo, early in Z, could destroy the moon. So that's fine. Frieza destroying an Earth-sized planet in its first form, that's fine. So why does he have trouble with a bigger planet? So just to start getting an idea of scaling here, let me switch this picture up a bit. I went and found an in-between planet, something between the moon. See, the moon's this size. Mercury, it's a little bit bigger than the moon, right? So let's bring the Earth back and put Mercury here so we can see how those compare. Now, the Mercury is not a lot bigger than the Moon, but it's enough bigger. And to destroy Mercury, you would need a power level of around Nappa's, about 4,000 to destroy Mercury. So now we want to upscale. What about Neptune or Uranus? They're about the same in size. There's the Earth, there's Neptune. To destroy Neptune, you would need a power level of about 50 million. So if planet Namek is about the size of Neptune, Frieza at 50% power, final form, and he makes a comment about holding back, at least in the anime. If he used every ounce of his power, he would have just enough to destroy Neptune straight out. He held back a little bit, and so he does destroy Namek, but he barely put enough energy into it to breach the core of the planet, which the planet then destroyed itself. He would have had to have gone full out at 50%, which would have given him just enough power, maybe a titch over, to destroy out planet Namek, a Neptune-sized planet. And that explains why at 50% he had just enough power to do it, but holding back didn't do it as well as he thought he would. Which, that's a big difference between 500,000 to destroy Earth and 50 million to destroy Neptune, or in the case of what's going on in the story, Namek. If Namek is this size, he's putting out just enough power to destroy it at 50 million. Of course, Frieza can get a little bit stronger than his 100%, and then he would have had no problem destroying Neptune or Namek then. But Neptune and Uranus are not the biggest planets in our solar system. They're middle-sized, because you've got Jupiter and Saturn. Where there's Neptune on the right, there's Jupiter. So Neptune was about twice the size of Earth, and Jupiter is 2 to 3 times the size of Neptune. And to destroy Jupiter, the power level for that is ridiculous. It would take 4 billion. 4 billion to destroy Jupiter. So what is a planet destroyer? King Vegeta apparently destroyed planets. We know Vegeta apparently destroyed planets. He at least destroyed one on his way to Earth in the anime. And like I said, if you're talking about a small planet like Mercury, Nappa could have destroyed Mercury. But he wouldn't have put a dent in Earth. Well, he did put a dent in Earth, but he couldn't destroy Earth. He couldn't destroy Neptune. He barely scratched Jupiter. Goku fighting Frieza on Jupiter. They couldn't have destroyed Jupiter during that time. Now, I do believe, Resurrection F, they're more than strong enough to destroy Jupiter. Going beyond that to what it would take to destroy a solar system and the galaxy, the universe, those numbers are so mind-boggling. I don't see how it's possible they've got to those higher levels. Even with God Key, I don't see it. But for a Planet Buster, I do believe they could get past Planet Buster. And with God Key, be Galaxy Busters? Maybe. Solar System Busters? Most likely. I didn't actually do a difference between a solar system and the galaxy. I did the galaxy figures. I didn't look for a solar system. But comparing the difference between Jupiter and the galaxy, a solar system buster, okay. But didn't Cell claim to be that? And if that's the case, that's too big a jump between where they were with the androids to Cell for that to have happened in the time they had. That becomes too big a jump. And of course, Goku doesn't reach it with his 50 times power level. But the 100 times power level of Gohan is as powerful as Cell, and Cell claims to be able to destroy a solar system. I'm not sure they're there at that point. By the end of Buu, yeah, they're probably able to destroy a solar system. By gods, by super, okay, that god power may give them the ability to destroy a galaxy, and those figures are astronomically big as it is. You're looking at 30 zeros on whatever number you put in front of that. Yeah, that's to destroy one galaxy. You're looking at 51 or 52 zeros to destroy the universe. That's not happening. I'm sorry. And like I said, I've proven by dealing with the Planet Buster scales that it's reasonable with the power levels that we know they had during the Saiyan saga and beyond to reach Planet Buster levels. They did that. By the end of Z, they should have surpassed the ability to destroy Jupiter. And maybe even to the point of approaching solar system destructive powers. However, trying to go beyond that's ridiculous. And even the idea of a planet buster, I mean, Frieza is proud of his power. He makes it sound like he can destroy any planet at all. Now, maybe there are no big planets like Jupiter that can hold life. Maybe nothing bigger than Neptune can. Maybe that's part of the logic there, is he would never have to destroy a planet the size of Jupiter. But even at his full power in the Namek saga, he could not have done it. He barely had the power to destroy a Neptune-sized planet. But when you start dealing with 50 million necessary for the one and 4 billion necessary for the other. So that's my findings. If you want to actually see some of those figures, comment and maybe I'll share some of that with you. But I mean, you get the basic idea. I've given you the power levels. You can go find the Joules levels on the internet. That didn't take too long to do. And you can do the research yourself, but I've basically given you everything you need to know for being a planet buster, what that meant to be a planet buster. Obviously, for Frieza, it meant anything the size of Neptune or smaller. And that's a big planet, but it's not to every planet possible. And that's the thing, is they made it sound like, and I always assumed, when Frieza says he's a planet destroyer, he can destroy any planet possible. Now, if he's only using a small fraction of his power at the 510,000, I'd have to go in and redo calculations, and maybe he'd be close to destroying Jupiter at 100%. Maybe he could manage to do what he did to Namek, or he could destroy the core enough that it would blow itself up. But he'd really be pushing it. Even if he shrunk your numbers down to 50,000 or 10,000, you'd just barely be pushing it for him to have enough. And even then, I don't think he'd really have enough to destroy the planet then. So I've rambled on enough. Hope you've found this discussion on the Planet Busters interesting. Hope you'll like the video. Hope you'll check out the rest of my channel, and if you have not done so, you'll subscribe to it. This is Super Saiyan 7 Cindersh, and I will be back with more content in the near future. Thank you for watching. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super are property of Funimation, Viz TV, Fuji TV, Toei Animation, and Dragon Ball Z Abridged is the property of Team 4-Star. Of course, all of it, the initial creator for them was Akira Toriyama. Please check out their content.